Hello everybody and welcome to Organian's Puzzle Box. In this video I would like to show you how to use Substance Painter and its toolset to create some nice oil paintings or watercolor paintings or whatever you feel, whatever you may want to do when it comes to physical painting. You can also basically mimic this in Substance Painter by using the brush tool and the smudge tool in combination and setting up a few parameters. I'm just going to show you, we're going to go in depth as to how to use these tools and how best to deploy them and how to set up. It's going to be a very straightforward tutorial and I'm sure you guys will appreciate that Substance Painter does have the potential to be a nice physically based painting software, which is something that you don't find in every software out there. It's definitely, Photoshop has definitely a different kind of approach to things, and it's more in, a lot more industry standard. But I think that what Substance Painter is offering is some really, some real-time feedback as to how paint should feel on a certain surface. So we'll just begin going through that. So I hope you guys enjoy the video and you find it useful. Also guys, if you would like to support my channel and you have a pet and you also live in the UK or the USA, you can head over to my channel, Blue Nova Designs. It's in the description below, and I can get a pet portrait made for you on cushions, on fleeces, on canvases, all sorts of products. We do all sorts of designs. All you need to do is just choose a portrait, upload your pet photo and place your order. As I've said, we've got canvases, cushions, framed art, mugs or fleeces, and they're all very, very good products. If you guys really like to support me, then please head on over and order one. Thank you. So let's begin. So now that we're in Substance Painter, we can start adding some details to our little canvas here. So I've just added this mesh, and if we go over here into our display settings and we turn the wireframe on, you can see I've got it subdivided quite a bit, and this is to help with the height, the displacement that I'm going to use for this. So I've got my displacement to 0 at the minute, but I'm just going to turn my subdivision count to 32, which is basically going to take this subdivision that I've got and multiply it. And then I'm going to bring my height information to, let's say, 0.05. And this is because we want to do an effect of, just imagine like physical painting. So to do this, I want to have height, I want to have different layers of painting, of coats of painting that just go higher or lower on the canvas. And I just want it to look quite interesting and quite nice. It just opens a new sort of way of, physically painting on a computer, let's call it, although I'm not sure that's the right way to say it. Right, but we're just going to go in materials, and I just want to add a wood texture on top, so I'm just going to bring these planks on, and as you can see, they already have a bit of height information to them. This is due to the fact that over here in basic parameters we have some height range for them, and we can actually increase this, and you can see that it just brings these planks even higher. But we're just going to leave it around that level. We just need to ensure that our paint is higher than that in order for it to actually be higher, elevated on top of this, on top of these planks. Okay, so now we've got one layer over here already created by Substance Painter, and what we want to do is want to use this layer as our paint layer. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got color, roughness, normal, and height on. These are going to be the channels that I'm going to work with today. I'm just going to set the color to something more visible, so maybe this yellowish color. And then my height information, I'm going to go quite high with it. Roughness, I'm going to leave it around there. And now I just want to make some basic settings. So I'm going to go into my my normal channel, and I'm going to make sure that the normal channel is actually replacing, and then the height channel is also replacing. Now once I've done that, when I added the replace, I need to leave my normal to my height channel to normal, because if you switch it to replace, the height information from the layer underneath will just disappear. So let's just zoom in a bit closer to our canvas. I don't particularly like the jagged edges. This, you would need to use a filter to get these out, but it's still not going to look very pretty. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this height information a bit lower until it looks a bit better. You could bring a mesh in that just has more definition to it, more subdivisions, and then that will actually fix most of your issue. But I'm just going to leave it somewhere around there, so we just get a bit of a bit of information in. Okay, so that's fine. And now at this point I can now add my paint. So I'm going to go on my layer over here. I've got the color selected. I'm just going to go to my brushes and add a basic hard brush. And now I'm just going to start painting with it. And as I move the lightning around, I just want to show you a bit more, more of the shininess of the paint. As you can see, the paint is replacing the normal information underneath, and it's obviously higher than the planks. I can come over here and just increase the height, and then you get it very high, which we don't want it to be that high because it will just start deforming the entire mesh. But somewhere around there looks about nice, and then we can just add some more colors, maybe add some bit of green as well in there, maybe add different height information. So this is obviously lower than the rest, which is great. Now the trick for this comes in the form of using our smudge tool, which is number 5 on the keyboard. With the smudge tool selected, we've got plenty of brushes in here that we can start using and just toy around with this paint. And as I do this, you will notice that it sort of behaves as it would in reality, in real life practices. So right now I'm just combining some of the green with some of the yellow. Just bringing all these colors on top of them, and then I'm just going to bring some other brush that will sort of like combine them. And as you can see, they're now blending with each other, creating new sort of nuances of color, which is quite interesting. And as you can see, the height information, how it all plays out. And if I take another different brush of just doing just blending everything in, you can see that the normal information from underneath, from this from the layer beneath it, the planks, is actually showing through now, because I've spread the paint to such an extent that the normal replacement channel isn't actually keeping up. So we've lost all the information from our original paint layer, and now the normal map is sticking out. So we can add some more paint back in here, and as you can see, that's again replacing the normal information from underneath. Let's just try with a bit more height and maybe a different kind of color. So I've added all of these. I'm gonna go back to my smudge tool, and I don't know, let's just have a look at what other brushes we can use from here. Maybe this brush, and I'm just creating sort of like, you can see now they're just pulling in textures from both of these, and this is a blending tool. So it's very important that you make your sort of like a library of the best brushes to use for this. Like for example, this brush is quite nice to use. It just blends both the colors very nicely, and the more you blend them, the more they become one sort of color, but with obviously with both the bluish and the greenish tints in it. And if you want, you can just bring more colors in there, just to blend it even further. So as long as you keep on doing this, you're building layers and layers of different variations of color, and this is where you can actually start doing some very nice texturing on your models, or as I said in this particular case on a canvas. You can if you really consider how long it takes for a painter to do a proper painting of something, mountains, lake, and whatnot, then this in essence is probably going to be sort of like the same lengthy process, or maybe not as lengthy, since you've got the undo button here and things like that. But still, it will still take a long time to do. But that's fine, because that's how paintings really are. They take a lot of time, but you get some really nice results out of them. You probably think that you know, something like Photoshop can probably do something like this as well, but Photoshop doesn't offer the option for you to have the height information like you have it here. And although it may not sound like there is, you know, much, you know, like there's any sort of value into it, but there actually is, because, and I'll show you why. Because let's say you want to make a body of water over here. So I don't know, I've just added random brush strokes over in here. I'm just gonna go and maybe add some more variations very quickly. Let's just do some lighter tones as well. Let's use a different kind of brush. I'm using a sort of a cloudy brush. This is a leaf brush. Again, doesn't really matter, you know, we're just trying to combine these. Now I'm gonna go into my smudge tool, and I'm gonna start combining some of these effects like that. Okay, now we know that we're still pretty high in terms of the actual height map. We're still pretty high over there, and at this point let's just add another layer, but with a lot less height. And the color, let's just use, I don't know, let's just use sort of an orangey color. And I'm just going to get my, you know, a hard brush. Again, I don't have the setup made for this to paint with this very efficiently, but then I can bring this over here, maybe turn the height even lower, and just, you know, just have at it and just add all these brush strokes in here. Maybe go and add a bit of red. I don't know, something like that, yeah. And now I'm just gonna go into my smudge tool and start smudging these together. So, you know, I've just combined all of these colors together. But if you look here, then I've got a clear line between where I've added the body of water and where I've added the other color. And even though I blend them together, this is still going to be higher unless I blend everything together, but that is still going to be higher. And as you can see, it just creates sort of different colors now, because we're combining some of these colors that are from different ranges. They're just creating this sort of really nice effect, this painterly effect. And now I can just bring in some more. Maybe I'll use a dirt brush and add some darker patches of water in here, but obviously I'm just going to have to bring my height higher. Let me just use this dirt brush. Yeah, I think that's better. And, you know, we just add some more information. Maybe this is the point where water is getting really fuzzy like and whatnot. And again, I'm just going to use my smudge tool to blend that in. So this looks more like a sky than it does water. I know, I'm sorry about that, but again, I think it just proves a point. If you want to do proper water, then you definitely can. Again, in terms of height, I can go even higher, and as you can see, this really brings some more stuff in. And when you render these, you know, you can render them with height, with displacement mapping and so on, so this will look quite fantastic in a render. And I'm actually going to bring this over into Blender and just do a quick render on it, just to show you guys how this looks in a render in real, you know, in Blender cycles or something like that, just to have a kick over it. But I hope you guys learned something quite interesting in this video. I hope it helps. As I said, if you guys want to support my channel, just have a look in the description below. There's a link there to my website where I sell pet portraits and stuff. If you're living in the UK or USA and you want to order a pet portrait from me, just feel free to go on my website and do that. Or if you wish to order a digital copy, just email me on my website. You can find the email there, and I can make a very nice pet portrait for you on my custom-made templates. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. This is quite an interesting thing, and I'm sure that these guys at Adobe will develop this even further. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.